You are not hungry. You ate an hour ago. Yet, there's a voice in your head that keeps nagging at you like an annoying child. Food noise is real, and it's stopping you from eating healthy, nutritious food because you'd rather be elbows deep in a pint of ice cream than a quinoa salad. I know the feeling because I used to be there. I went from being able to inhale a whole family-sized bag of chips in one sitting to genuinely not having touched them in years. And I did it without ever going on a miserable diet, banning food for life, or drinking a single detox tea. So today, I want to give you the 10 things that helped me reach for nutritious whole foods and turn down food noise. Tip number 1, eat slowly. Your brain runs about 20 minutes behind your stomach. That is an entire sitcom episode of delay between I am full happening and you finding out about it. When you eat fast, you can shovel in a truly heroic amount of food, and your brain only catches up once you are lying on the couch keeling over, wondering where it all went wrong. Here is what to do instead. Put the fork down between mouthfuls, actually down on the plate, not hovering over it like you're playing airplanes. Let the meal take longer than 30 seconds, and I promise you will start seeing the difference. You will start feeling satisfied with food still on the plate. The goal isn't to get so stuffed you can't move. The goal is to be pleasantly full. Tip number 2, eat with a dessert spoon. Yes, I am serious, and yes, I did this. For months, I ate my meals with a tiny dessert spoon, like a Victorian child at boarding school. It sounds unhinged. It works. A smaller spoon physically caps how much you can shovel per bite, which slows your eating rate without you having to think about it. It's also very frustrating eating with a smaller utensil. So not only does it stop you from overeating, it also makes you so over food you won't think about it again until your next actual meal rolls around. Tip number 3, tune in to how food leaves you feeling. This is the big one. This one did more for me than everything else on this list combined.
Wow.
For most of my life, I ate on autopilot. Food went in, plate went empty, and I never once checked in with my body afterward. The change started when I began actually paying attention. The fried food and the family-sized bag of chips left me heavy, foggy, and bloated. I started hating that feeling and instead reached for veggies, protein, and healthy foods that make me feel great. Tip number 4, chew your food properly. They say chew each mouthful around 20 times, and I will warn you now, the first time you try it, you will feel like you are being punished. Digestion starts in your mouth, not your stomach. Swallow a barely chewed lump of pasta and it lands in your gut like a pile of rocks.
Oh no.
Your stomach now has to do the mouth's job as well as its own, which is why you feel heavy and bloated after inhaling your food. But chewing does something even better. The act of chewing thoroughly triggers your fullness hormones, the ones that tell your brain the restaurant is closing. In one study, people who chewed each bite 40 times ate noticeably less than the 15 chews crowd, and they felt more satisfied doing it. You will genuinely find yourself full before the plate is empty, which, if you had told me that 5 years ago, I would have laughed and finished your plate too. Tip number 5, eat volume. Here is a secret your stomach has been keeping from you. It cannot count. It does not know math. It measures fullness mostly by weight and stretch, by how much actual stuff is physically sitting in it. So use that. Foods heavy with water and fiber fill you up magnificently. A giant tray of roasted vegetables, a salad the size of a small garden, zucchini, carrots, and the queen herself, the potato. When researchers ranked foods by how full they keep you, boiled potatoes came out on top. The humble potato outperformed everything fancy. Build your plate around volume, and you get to eat until you are genuinely, happily satisfied, and the target feeling is fueled, not stuffed. Fueled walks away from the table ready for life. Stuffed needs to lie down and reconsider its choices. Tip number 6, rebuild one anchor meal. You do not need to overhaul your entire diet. Start with fixing just one meal and let repetition do the heavy lifting. Mine was breakfast. The old version was 2 thick slices of bread, 3 fried eggs, and a hot chocolate. Sounds delicious and I miss it very much. But I don't miss the way it made me feel. It left me so full and bloated, I basically spent every morning in recovery. The new version is 1 slice of homemade sourdough with avocado, 2 boiled eggs, chia seeds in water, and a couple of kiwis. Nourishing, genuinely filling, and 0 food coma. Just take your most repeated meal and quietly upgrade it. One better breakfast, repeated every day for a year, beats any 2-week health kick you have ever attempted. Tip number 7, stop snacking. I cannot remember the last time I was elbows deep in the cookie jar. I rewired my brain into thinking that every snack is extra calories that are simply not needed. Snacks can account for an entire extra meal without you even realizing it. So I have completely replaced my snacking with nutritious meals that keep me full, so I don't even think about snacking. If I do snack, I will reach for fruit. And if I am feeling a little hungry, my absolute favorite is rice cakes with tahini and medjool dates. Healthy, nutritious, delicious, and totally satisfying without the sugar crash that sends you straight back to the cupboard an hour later. If you're a snacker, the fix isn't banning snacking because that will make the food noise louder. Focus on your bigger meals first. If your 8 a.m. breakfast is a coffee and a croissant, by 11 a.m., you'll be reaching for that pack of Oreos. If your breakfast is bread, avocado, eggs, Greek yogurt with berries, or even oats, you will feel full for so long, you'll have completely forgotten about that pack of Oreos in the cupboard. Okay, I know what you're gonna say, but Sculptress, I love my snacks. We all do. Just replace them with something healthy. Carrots and hummus, rice cakes with peanut butter, fruit. There are so many healthy options that can satisfy your sweet tooth without going overboard. Tip number 8, keep your desserts, but get strategic about them. If anyone tells you the answer is giving up dessert forever, block them. A life with no tiramisu in it is not a life, it is a sentence. What changed for me is not whether I have dessert, it is when and how. First, I have my treat in the afternoon, not late at night. Late night you is tired, defenseless, and standing in front of the fridge in fuzzy socks. Afternoon, you still has a functioning frontal lobe. Second, I run a weekly ritual. One day a week, I make a dessert I genuinely love, like brownies or cheesecake, and I have a slice, not the tray. And on the other days, when I want something sweet, I have a healthier version. My go-to are tahini cookies or refined sugar-free sweet potato brownies. I will be honest with you though, sweet potato brownies do not beat the real thing, but by the third week, you will be weirdly loyal to them. Your palate adjusts faster than your skepticism does. The point is that the cravings have a time and place where they can shine. That is not restriction. By setting a schedule on when you can enjoy your favorite dessert, you are controlling your cravings. The cravings are not controlling you. Tip number 9, only drink water. I literally only drink water, and I have for years now. No juice, no soda, and absolutely no alcohol. It sounds fun, I know. But hear me out. Sugary drinks, even fruit juice, are packed with sugar and extra calories without even filling you up or providing any nutrition. The more sugary drinks you have, the more you crave them. So make the swap and one entire category of noise just switches off. Tip number 10, take a break from your trigger food. Here is my number one advice and the only one that completely moved the needle for me. I am not asking you to avoid your favorite foods forever. I am just asking you to take a break. And I'll tell you why. My favorite dessert is tiramisu. I once ate an entire tray of it and had to call in sick for work. Another weakness of mine was chips. I could eat an entire family-size bag. If there was ever a bowl of chips out, you bet my hand would be reaching for them. There was no stopping me, even if they made me feel bloated and sick after. So I stopped. And now the tiramisu and chips noise has completely calmed down. I had tiramisu for the first time in 2 years during my trip to Italy, and I loved it. I rarely reach for chips now. Honestly, it works. You have to trust me on this. So for a while, give that one specific food a sabbatical. Not all treats, not all joy, just the one food you have never once eaten a normal amount of. And you'll see that the alarm will finally settle down. The screaming fades to a normal speaking voice, and then the food can come back into your life on your terms, as something you enjoy instead of something that runs the show. So that is the 10. Nothing dramatic, nothing that requires a personality transplant, and not a single detox tea was harmed in the making of this list. Pick one tip and run it for 2 weeks. Let it get boring, because boring is what winning actually looks like. Now, if you have ever tried to outstarve the noise and watched it backfire spectacularly, I made a video on exactly why not eating makes everything worse. It is linked right here, go watch it. And drop a comment telling me your trigger food, the one you have never once eaten a normal amount of. This is a judgment-free zone.